Good morning from Kuala Lumpur once again. Doug here, and this is the start of another random collection of clips that could be spread out over several days or one day. I'm not really sure. Right now I'm heading out of my hotel. This is my neighborhood here where I'm staying in Kuala Lumpur, and I'm walking about 20 minutes from here to meet up with a friend of mine and fellow YouTuber, Expat Pete. Just meeting up for coffee, and we're going to talk about all things related to YouTube, camera gear, life, all that good stuff. Expat Pete is a little bit of a mystery vlogger. He does POV walking videos where he doesn't narrate and he doesn't generally appear on video himself. So I do not think he will be appearing in this Planet Doug video either, but we may end up in a nice coffee shop. We may end up in a McDonald's. I'm not sure where we're going to go, but if we are in a nice place, I want to feature it. I'll show a little bit of the cafe where we end up, things like that, while keeping Expat Pete just out of frame. Maybe you'll hear his voice. You never know. But yeah, I keep talking about the flags on display more and more because we're coming up on Malaysia's Independence Day. And these are the banner displays, long, narrow versions of the Malaysian flag, otherwise known, I believe, as the Stripes of Glory. Another beautiful day here in Kuala Lumpur. I love these days because the blue sky and the white clouds really set off the land of skyscrapers. Look at that on all sides of me. Got the Maybank Tower, Merdeka 118 right over there. And kind of disappeared, but we were looking at the KL Tower over there. The Museum Telecom. And look at this. We have a bike tour with the leader. And yeah, look at that. They do have a bike trail here. Mike Bikes, cycling with a smile. And the group leader, he's clearing the way with a whistle. But yeah, the bike path is a little bit odd because it shares space with the pedestrian sidewalk. So you end up with both. I didn't even know they were coming until I heard his whistle. Like, what the heck? Why am I? Because quite often security guards in Malaysia will blow a whistle at you if you're doing something wrong. I'm often in the MRT system and I might be shooting some video, not doing anything wrong, nothing against the rules, but if it looks like you might be getting too close to the tracks or an unsafe area or an unauthorized area, you start hearing somebody blowing a whistle and you look around, and I'm always taken aback because I'm such a law-abiding fellow. It always surprises me when it turns out he's blowing the whistle at me. And I'm like, little old me? Like, why are you blowing your whistle at me? What did I do wrong? But yeah, they don't like it when you get too close to the tracks and you're filming the train coming in or going out or something like that. And then here, of course, he was, the leader was blowing his whistle because I was standing on the sidewalk, but the sidewalk is also the bike path. And when I first heard the whistle, as I said, I thought it was a security guard because I'm filming all these skyscrapers. We've got the this is the Malaysian Stock Exchange building here. And who knows, like, you never know what security is going to think about anything you're doing. Any kind of random security guard. So I thought, oh, maybe he's telling me I can't film the buildings or I can't film outside this particular building. So I look around and no, there's like 20 bicycles coming at me. So that was pretty funny. The bike tour group has come to a stop. I guess this is part of their tour going into the eco park. I like the orange. Mike bikes. Yeah, they look like Dutch bikes. Hi. Very enthusiastic. I wonder if they're actually going to go into the eco park or not, combining the effort of cycling in this sun and now walking all over the park. They're going to get a physical workout today. Taman Eco Rimba, Kuala Lumpur, Hutan Simpan Bukit Nanas, otherwise known to we foreigners as the Eco Park. The Eco Park used to be free. It was just an open park, but now it's been closed off and there is an entrance fee. I forget what it was or what it is, but when I've seen the price, I honestly had the thought like, ooh, that's a bit pricey for going into that park. It's a little bit pricey, but luckily I was in the Eco Park on many occasions before they started charging entrance fees. Heading towards Bukit Bintang, the downtown core area. Lots more skyscrapers. You have to keep your wits about you if you're going to use this bike lane, because as I said, it keeps changing. Back here, it's beside the road, so there's a sidewalk, bike lane. But then across this intersection, it becomes the sidewalk again. So I've ridden along this bike lane a few times, and I usually just end up ignoring it. I just ride on the road as I normally would, mainly because of this competition with pedestrians. And you end up going up and down these big bumps as you go up and down the curb all the time. So I just stay on the road. And the KL Tower, we found an opening. You get a nice view of it. I went up there one time, just once. It was nice. It's got a lot more than just the tower up there. There are a few other attractions around the tower. It's worth visiting, even if you don't go up into the tower observation platform. This is always one of my favorite buildings for some reason. I guess I just like the camel, and I love the windows reflecting the white clouds and the blue sky. Your bank, Malaysia's bank, Bank. Jumped way ahead in time, same day, same shirt. Just the afternoon now. It's actually a 5:45 at night. I've been hanging out with my YouTuber friend, Expat Pete, all day long, actually. We ended up not even going to a coffee shop. We ended up just going to his house, and because we were there, just hung out all day long. He kept feeding me delicious cups of instant coffee, and we talked cameras, camera gear, YouTube all day long. That was a lot of fun. He's got a couple of cameras that I got to take a close look at, really interesting. One in particular is the Canon G7X Mark II, which is a legendary camera in the YouTube world. It's a camera I've been looking at for years and years and years. And the one knock against the Canon G7X II, it was like the perfect vlogging camera, really. That was that close to being the perfect camera. The one thing it was missing was a microphone jack. So you couldn't get good audio because you couldn't plug in a microphone. That was the one thing going against it. And then Canon, in a rare burst of listening to customers, came out with the Canon G7X Mark III, and they added a microphone jack. So everybody was pretty excited about that. But then when the 3 came out, all the reviews said the same thing, that the autofocus really isn't very good on the 3. So they added the microphone jack, which made it better. But then for a YouTuber, they screwed up the autofocus, which kind of made it useless. So they were that close to making the perfect camera, and then they blew it somehow. And the knock against the G7X Mark II, other than the lack of a microphone jack, was that it had contrast detect autofocus, which is the same as Panasonic cameras, the same as old Olympus cameras. That's why none of them are very good for vlogging, because contrast detect autofocus doesn't work for video. Works very, very well for photographs, but it's not that great for video. But somehow or other, even though the G7X Mark II had contrast detect autofocus, it worked okay. It worked well enough for YouTube. It wasn't lightning fast autofocus like Sony cameras today. It doesn't have product showcase. It doesn't have all these animal eye detect. It doesn't have all these fancy features. But if all you're doing is walking around doing this on YouTube, it's a beautiful camera. Had good autofocus. But then when they came out with the Mark III version, somehow or other, they made the autofocus much worse. Don't know how they did it. It was still contrast detect, but somehow it just didn't work. But anyway, Expat Pete, he has one of these legendary cameras, so I got to play around with it. Man, I was really impressed with it. Really nice. If you put it on a grip like I'm using, hold it far away, you know, the field of view is wide enough, not as wide as a GoPro, but acceptable. The exposure was really nice, colors were really nice, the focusing was great. Beautiful, beautiful little camera. The only problem, no microphone jack. Yeah, oddly enough, this camera has such a good reputation that it really holds its value. After playing around with Expat Pete's, I was wondering, a used G7X Mark II? That might be pretty sweet. So I was wondering, how much do they cost? So I went on to Carousel, the local used market, to see what are they selling for. And people want a fortune for these cameras. 4,000 ringgit, 5,000 ringgit for a new one, 4,000 for a used one. It's just incredibly expensive. And we're talking about a compact camera, a 1-inch sensor compact without an interchangeable lens. And to ask 4,000 ringgit for a used compact camera like that is just insane. But they're so popular that, yeah, they're in high demand and people can get that much for them. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, if I had a camera like this, I'd be using it at night, like night market when it's dark. It's good at night. It's really good. Yeah, it's a 1-inch sensor, so I find with like my Olympus, if I put glasses on, it loses me. But as soon as I take them off, it sees my face. I put the glasses back on, then I'm gone again.
No, it's found you alright.
It has me?
Yep.
Yeah. So let's focus on the outside world. Adjusting the exposure. Focus on me. Butterfly over there. We got a bit of nature. That's nice. It's got a nice, and it's all the rocker, yeah.
It's got the zoom, which is a smooth zoom, which you can use.
Right. Looks like they're both kind of smooth. Yeah. On me. I'd probably.
It still holds up, this camera. I'm alright with it.
Oh yeah, it's a great camera. These days, every time they come out with a new model, they just make it worse than the old one. So, what's the point of buying the new version? The only thing is the new one has the microphone jack.
Yeah, and 4K.
Okay. Which again, for me, I'm not married to 4K. I can live with it or without it.
It doesn't normally have that huge strap on it. So it's,
Right.
I only got that on there because I can put it on and throw it to the other camera easily. Can you zoom that close, focus that close?
Seem to.
I think it's about 6 inches, I don't know, maybe. Oh yeah, looks like it.
Yeah. Switches into macro mode. You can see it up there automatically.
I don't know, because I just have, when I'm doing video, I just have it in auto, everything.
The only thing there, as it does, that's nice. A lot of cameras can't do that. That's the one thing I do change, because I find it makes a big difference. Most cameras, in my experience, overexpose. So this is, I think, so there's like minus 0.5. To me, that looks looks a lot nicer than the auto setting. I like it to be just a little bit darker, like right there. Looks nice to me, but so that's the only setting I change. Everything else I leave on auto. But I love these old school dials. Having exposure compensation on a dial, I love that. Because that's the only control that I use.
Also, there is an extra dial which you can change.
See, look at that difference. Eh?
Yeah, you can spin this around too. This spins. You can set it for what you want. I don't want to.
Right.
Try it.
Nice. That is sweet. Nice camera, man. It's a nice one. And the other camera he had that I was really interested in was a Canon M50, which was kind of a legendary camera in its day when it came out. And it's an APS-C sensor, it's not micro four thirds, it's not 1 inch, it's full APS-C, so it's a big sensor, which produces a really nice image quality. And the M50 has a relatively small, lightweight body. The kit lens was a very small 16 to 35 millimeter zoom, which was on the low end in terms of quality, but more than good enough for YouTube. Looked pretty nice to my eyes. Amazing autofocus, and because it's more of a full-size camera, it has things like a microphone jack, a hot shoe for a flash, things like that. So it's a pretty nice camera, the M50 overall. But I got to test it at Expat Pete's, and then it confirmed kind of what I already knew about that camera because I've been around it a little bit in the past. Everything looked good, the video looked good, the handling was fine, but the stabilization wasn't there, especially when you compared it to the G7X Mark II. I just walked around Expat Pete's apartment and then holding the camera like this, and there's just like jitters, micro jitters everywhere, just so much shaking in the video. And then the G7X Mark II by comparison was like buttery smooth, not as smooth as a GoPro or any of the other action cameras from DJI or Insta360, but I'd be happy with it. I'd use it for YouTube without any issues. So there you have it, G7X Mark II, the perfect camera except no microphone jack. And then you've got the M50, pretty good camera, but the stabilization is not up to par. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Got to get my hands on those two cameras, really dive into them, look at the menu settings, look at the controls. And again, the G7X Mark II is such a nice camera. It even has like manual dials on the top, which you don't see very often. Most cameras these days have moved on to menu systems. You got to scroll through menus to change things. But the G7X Mark II even has a separate physical dial only for exposure compensation, which is amazing. And it works while you're recording, which a lot of cameras can't do. So you're recording video and the exposure isn't quite right. You just little couple of clicks on the exposure compensation dial and you're back into a perfect exposure. As I said, amazing little camera. If only it had a mic jack, that camera would have taken the world by storm. But they didn't put one in. I guess we vloggers are not a big enough market. So we never get the perfect camera. So I stayed at Expat Pizza a lot longer than I was expecting. And now I'm gonna try and get a couple of shawarma. I went to this shawarma place yesterday at night, really excited about getting a couple, but they were closed. They closed at 6:30. And right now it is 6 o'clock. So I'm hoping I can get there before they're done for the day. And that'll be my evening snack. Get some shawarma. As I mentioned the other day, this place right in my neighborhood, they're small. They mix two different types. One is in a French baguette, and the other one is in like a pita pocket. And they're like 5 ringgit each. And they use a lot of sauce. So when you get one of these, he asks you, like, are you okay with some hot, spicy sauce? And I'm like, yep. And he takes out the bottle and really lays it on. It's not really hot or spicy, but it's also very wet and sticky and gooey. So I ended up eating them with a knife and fork. But I'll probably get the same style today. I don't mind eating with a knife and fork. I'm gonna grab 4 of them, I think. 2 in the pita pocket, 2 in the French baguette, and then I'm going to squirrel them back to my hotel room. But that all depends on whether they're still open. I'm not sure I trust the 6:30 closing time on a Saturday. It's not looking good. No, he's not open. That always drives me crazy. I do have that experience a lot in life, particularly in Malaysia. I think it's happened a lot, where the place I'm trying to go to is generally closed when I get there, and the listed opening hours often have no relationship at all to reality, unless I'm mistaken about its location. No, this is where it's supposed to be. This is where I was yesterday. Kebab Jalan Tar. Monday to Saturday, 6:30. They're supposed to close. Yeah, my guess is that they didn't even open at all today. Just sort of has that look about it, like it was never open at all. So maybe it's closed Saturday and Sundays these days. But yeah, I do find that puzzling sometimes, because I'm personally aware of how much it hurts your customer base, because if I could count on them to be open when they're supposed to be according to their sign, I would come back all the time. But now I'm very reluctant to come back, because I don't know, they may be open, they may not be open, then they'll lose me as a customer. That's just, that's how it always goes with me. But anyway, the last time I was here, they were closed because it was 7 o'clock. So they were supposed to be closed. But because I could not get my shawarma, I went down here to an Indian restaurant and got some biryani to go, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. It was a big, satisfying meal, and I hope to repeat that experience. Hopefully they're open. And this is the place, Restaurant Al Bidayah. I'm struggling with my GoPro. I keep getting the classic SD card error. Hi, how are you? And I think it's my memory card is just it's not fast enough for 4K video in the GoPro. I have to get a higher classic card, I think, to shoot in 4K. But anyway, right in the middle of shooting, over and over and over again, the GoPro keeps shutting down, saying SD card error. So I tried to film getting my dinner, the biryani and the daging and all the things I got, all the amazing food. But every time I tried to record anything, the GoPro shut down. So you'll just have to imagine what the ordering experience was like. It's a little bit interesting though. Maybe I'm alone in this, but when it comes to getting food overseas, there's always the question of figuring out the system. Jumped ahead in time once again. Yeah, that SD card must be toast because I got error after error after error. But every time I got an error and the GoPro refused to continue recording, and then I would shut down the GoPro, turn it back on, because that's the only way to get past the error message. And then I got a little happy message that said, repairing the file. So none of the files were lost, yeah, as if I said anything so desperate to be saved, right? But anyway, all the files are saved. I just got cut off mid-sentence or mid-topic, whatever it was. And when it got cut off this time, I was just talking about how when you go to a new restaurant, it takes me like 5 visits to figure out the ordering system. I guess I'm just that dumb. And I went to this restaurant only once before, and there was one guy there, and we sort of worked through. I got some food, but I have no idea whether I ordered it in the proper way. I don't know how you're supposed to order, which foods go with which other foods naturally. But I managed to get something, and then this time I went back, and there was a different guy there, and he just had a whole different approach to like spooning up the food and putting it together. And every time I asked for something, he just kept saying, separate? And I was like, not necessarily. I mean, I don't know what you mean by separate. I was trying to get the biryani rice, and I wanted some of this salad, some of that salad, and I wanted some beef, some daging, and then I wanted a couple of samosas. And then every time I asked for something, he said, separate? And I said, I don't know what to tell you. If you put it all together, do you mean different separate bags, separate containers? Because he had this container. The other guy didn't use this container. He just got out a big plate with a plastic bag on it with paper. And every time I said this, he just put it all onto the same plate. And when the meal was done, he just wrapped it all up and put it in a bag. And I thought, oh, okay, that's cool. But this guy got out a piece of like a plastic container with different compartments. And then he kept saying, separate? And I was like, well, if that means put the daging, put the beef in one of those separate boxes, one of those plastic containers, well, yeah, but it's not for 2 different people. I don't know what you mean by separate. And then I asked for the samosas, and then he said, separate? I'm like, I don't know what you mean. This isn't a separate order. This is all one order. I don't know what to tell you, separate or not separate. But he asked me that same question for every item, but I still don't know what he meant. But eventually I did get a bunch of food that ended up in a plastic bag, and then I managed to pay for it. And I'm back here at Planet Doug Dining Rooms, which is me sitting on the floor with my food on a plastic chair in front of me. So this is how we dine on Planet Doug. And yeah, so I'm gonna open all this up and I'll give you a look at it once it's all kind of out of its wrappings. Yeah, I'll show you what I ended up with for dinner. So far, no SD card error, but that could be because the new card that I put in is a SanDisk Extreme Pro. The one that was giving me all the errors was a SanDisk Extreme, which is not as fast as the Extreme Pro. But also, I don't have any of these problems with the Hero 12, the new GoPro. Right now I'm still using my Hero 9, and the Hero 9 is a lot more glitchy than, well, the 12 is not glitchy at all. The 12, they fixed all their problems, but now, since I don't have my 12, I'm using the 9. But anyway, this is what I ended up with. And it's kind of funny that a lot of it I didn't even ask for. So, like I said, this gets back to the whole understanding the systems. This is the biryani. And when I got it yesterday, the guy said, oh, would you like an egg? And I said, sure, I'll have an egg. And then he got an egg. And then I assumed I paid for the rice and the egg. But this guy today, I asked for the biryani, and he just put an egg in automatically. It's like it comes with an egg. That's part of the deal. And if you're a regular customer, you know that. But me being a new customer, I did not know that. So I was confused. And then I was trying to get a cucumber salad. And I kept asking me what I want. And I said, okay, biryani, and then the salad. And I was pointing at it politely. Over there, I would like some of this salad, this cucumber salad. And he says, okay, that. And then later on, he said, oh, would you like some of this? And I said, well, sure, whatever that is, I'll have some of that. And I guess this comes with biryani as well. And it's a type of salad. So I got this salad, but I didn't get the cucumber salad that I was trying to get. So that was confusing. And then when I asked for daging, the beef, he kept saying separate, separate, separate. And I didn't know what to say. I just assumed he could put it in here, but he really wanted to make it separate. So I said, okay, sure, separate, sounds good. Oh, actually, that's not the daging, that's something else. This is the daging. And he ended up putting it in a plastic bag, but he could have put it in that part of the plate. I would have been fine with that. And then I asked for the samosas, and that also ended up being separate, apparently. I don't know why it's separate, but it's separate. And then I was all done, and then he started putting this sauce into a plastic bag. And I guess this also comes with the biryani. So, but again, I didn't ask for that, Anyway, what I'm saying is you always have to figure out the ordering system. Now I know if you order biryani, you're going to get biryani, an egg, the sauce, and salad. This is the way it comes. And then this is extra or separate or something. I don't really know. But anyway, it all looks really good. I'm going to take this sauce, pour it all over the rice. I'm going to put my beef in here. And these are going to be dessert or breakfast. I think there's so much food here. I don't really need the chicken samosas. Or they could be egg samosas. I'm not sure. But I should add to this story that they were so friendly and really trying hard to give me the best service possible. And the one guy saw that I had a GoPro, this GoPro mounted on a neck mount. I wasn't recording because my GoPro kept shutting down. I wanted to record, but I kept getting the card error. And then he says, oh, YouTuber. And I said, yeah. He said, oh, what is your channel? And I gave him a name card from Planet Doug, and they instantly went to subscribe to my channel. And the man who was serving me spoke to me a lot. He was very chatty and very friendly, but I couldn't understand anything he was saying. And that's probably my fault, my ears and my brain. Other people probably, he was speaking English. I just couldn't make out what he was talking about. And then as I was leaving, he said, yeah, tomorrow, you come back next time. I'll help you. Tomorrow, come back. Ask for me. And he told me his name. Every time you come here, ask for me. I will help you. And so very, very friendly and great service. But I just have to figure out the system. If I become a regular at this place after a week, then eventually I'll be like, I'll watch other customers. It's like, okay. I'll eventually figure out the whole system. But it all worked out in the end. I have a very good meal, and I'm really hungry because I've had nothing to eat today. I had an ice cream at McDonald's when I met up with Expat Pete. I had a few minutes to kill, so I popped into a McDonald's and had a cone, soft ice cream cone, which I love. But that's all I've had to eat today, so really looking forward to this. As I said, on Planet Doug, the plastic chair serves as your table, and I've got my tablet all set up. I'm going to watch a little bit of a movie while I enjoy dinner. Life is pretty good when you have food like this sitting in front of you. Absolutely. New day, new shirt to mark the beginning of a new day. Well, it's not really the beginning, far from it. It's about 20 to 2 in the afternoon, which for me is translating into lunchtime. So I'm on my way to have lunch, and I'm in the mood for noodles, and I'm tracking. I hope to go to this noodle place I know down a local street over here, just in this direction. Where I am right now, that's my hotel street. It's just around the corner there, the J Hotel Masjid. The Masjid Jemek LRT station is right there. So I just left from my hotel. It was pouring rain earlier, really coming down in buckets, but luckily it stopped. And over here are a couple of very interesting streets, starting with this one here. There's like 3 of them, I think, 3 or 4 in a row. All part of this sort of a little India area, and there's a lot of interesting restaurants all through there. And one of them I want to try today, I've never been there before, is an Udon restaurant. And yeah, if you're in the mood for noodles, can't go wrong with Udon. I was looking at their menu online and I saw a bunch of things that looked interesting. I haven't done anything today except drink instant coffee in my room and edit videos, things like that. But that doesn't mean I haven't had any adventures, you know, simple life adventures. It was exactly noon, 12 o'clock. I was lying there on my bed editing a video, and then suddenly I was scared half to death by this loud sequence of bangs, 5 of them in a row, I think. And while this banging was going on, like bang, 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 the lights went off and on. And after the first 1 or 2 bang bangs with the lights going off and on, I realized what it was. That's the sound of the fuse box kicking in as it turns off the power to my room. Every time I leave the room, I pull out the card, the key card, and as I'm walking down the hall, I hear this bang from my room about 20 seconds later, because the power shuts down when it's an automatic system, flips the switch in the fuse box or something, some kind of a breaker in there, and it makes quite a loud noise. And this time, when it happened exactly at 12 o'clock, which is their checkout time, I realized that something was wrong. Because what they do is shut off your power at 12 o'clock and bang on, but they also do this 5 loud bangs, like turning it off and on, off and on, off and on really quickly, in case people forgot that it's checkout time. This is their way of reminding you that, hey, you paid up until noon. It is now noon, so get the heck out. It's like bang, 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 bang. It's really quite startling. But in this case, it was a mistake because I'm paid up until tonight. I'm paid up until tomorrow morning. That was my last reservation. I booked a room for 1 week, and that week is up tomorrow. But when they set my room key card, they did it incorrectly. They calculated the dates wrong. Whoever was at the desk that day put in the wrong date. So they thought the card thought I was checking out today. And then they got this tremendous banging and lights going off and on. So now, of course, because this is my life, because I live on planet Doug, I don't live on your planet, I live on planet Doug, where the little things have a habit of going wrong. I knew this was going to be trouble because now I had to go down to the front desk and say to them, the power went out, and the reason is you guys made a mistake. You put the wrong date onto my card. However, I had also booked this room for another 7 nights. So I had a new reservation in their system. And I knew that if I go down there to talk to them at the front desk and say something about, oh, there's a problem with my card reservation, they're going to see the new reservation and they're going to reset the card. Hello. For the new reservation, which starts the day after. So I'm going to be left with 1 day in between, and that's exactly what happened. So I went up to the front desk and I said, yeah, my card, the power went out and I can't get into and out of my room anymore because the card was set incorrectly. I'm missing 1 day on my card. But of course, they didn't really have any clue what I was saying. And then they looked on the computer and they went, oh, you booked 1 more week. And I said, yeah, I did. Okay, let me reset the card. So they reset the card for my new reservation, handed it back to me. And I thought, I don't think this is going to work. And I went back to my room. And of course, it wouldn't open the door because there's a 1 day gap now. So anyway, I had to go back down to the front desk and try to explain to them what's going on. So, okay, yes, I have the new reservation. That's fine. That's all taken care of. But my old reservation with the card has been mistakenly set by you guys. And I had to show them my confirmation how my checkout is actually tomorrow, not today. And they're saying, well, yeah, but you don't have to check out because you booked 1 more week. And I'm saying, yeah, I know, but we went around and around and around. I knew there was no way we were ever going to figure this out. So Yeah, they never understood what I was saying, what I was talking about, but then the woman eventually, I convinced her that right now, this moment, forget about all that other stuff, right now, this card will not open my door. Can we fix that? Like, don't explain how or why it happened. And then she was like, okay, and she took the card and did something, and then it opened my door again. So, so that was pretty funny. It's all settled now, but... yeah, bang, 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 bang. They really let you know when it's time to check out. They shut down your entire world. So anyway, I just turned down one of these streets that I mentioned. It's full of restaurants. There's like the local coffee shop there, very fancy coffee shop, a whole bunch of places. Another coffee shop, tea shop. Kind of a cute little street. And then they have all these restaurants over here. Betel Leaf. I'm a little bit worried that my place won't be open. We'll see. There's a chapati house. But according to Google Maps, my udon place is open. I'm not having a lot of confidence, but this place is open. Jambu Cafe. Uh-oh. I'm having sandal problems. My sandal just fell off, and I think I may have a problem. Repairs are going to be required. Yeah, they're brand new sandals too. Let me check on it. Okay, here's Team Udon. All right, door is open. So maybe I got lucky today. So, yeah, Team Udon. Operating hours 12 till 3. I've got enough time. 6 till 9:30. And according to them, 3,000 bowls sold per month. And it's halal, according to what I see on the door. Please wait to be seated. So I'm going. Oh, they have a menu outside. That's cool. I love places that do this. I like to be prepared everywhere I go. Look at that. A lot of selection. Team Udon. All kinds of varieties. Matcha udon. Niku. This is a lunch combo. Curry udon. This is plain curry. Beef ball udon. Udon lemak. I've heard good things about that one. Dry udon in santan with onsen egg topped with peanuts, cucumber, spring onion, served with sambal and shrimp chili. Buttermilk. And then a bunch of sides. Potato salad. It's a beef ball. And then drinks. What am I going to get? Well, I'll go in and sit down and I'll make a choice. I'll probably just get a basic one, like the curry udon, that looks good to me, or the beef ball. Oh, not available. It's on the menu, but it's not available. Plain curry. Anyway, we'll find out in a minute. Okay, time to head in. Oh, and it looks like they might even have a QR code system, which is nice. Right there. Scan this, and then you can scan and order. Hello. Just one? So, check out the interior. Very modern and sleek. Lots of metal and glass, which is kind of interesting. I guess this would be their premium udon. Karubi beef belly slices. Niku udon. They're $18.80. Curry Niku udon. Oh, that's their most expensive. 20 ringgit, 21 ringgit. Curry udon. I guess you don't get any beef or chicken in that. It's just like potatoes, carrots. No point looking at that one because not available. Looks like that was printed on the menu. Like, it wasn't done by hand. It was like when they made the menu, they included that in the menu. Why put it in the menu if it's never available? I do like this sort of idea too. Fried tofu skin on top. This one looks pretty interesting too. Udon with onsen egg, wakame, grated radish. That's got more variety maybe than the curry. Served with dashi soup. Maybe that would be the one to try today, just to get some more variety in the toppings. Cold. Oh, these are cold udon. Okay, this one's not available, but they put a sticker. That makes more sense to me. I don't want a cold one. And then here's the local. So this is nasi lemak udon. And maybe that one would be the one to try. Like, why not, right? These are Japanese noodles, udon, but to have them Malaysian style. Yeah, that's what I'll go for. Why not? I like the variety of toppings. That'll be cool. And I don't know if I want a drink or not. Maybe I'll just get a green tea, cold. That'd be nice. I've scanned the QR code. Now I want to open it in a browser. And it should know automatically that I'm sitting at table 12. I look into all this stuff because I'm still fascinated by systems, how things work, and the fact that it knows your table number. That's the key to the whole thing. So let's, they even have a Merdeka special coming up. Lunch combo. So there's their all-day menu. And let's look for the lemak. Is it here? Oh, I don't see it. It's not on the menu here. A set for 2 or 4 people. No, the lemak one is not on the QR code menu. I could probably get it if I wanted it, but I'm just going to go for this one since I want to do the QR code system. $12.80, and then you have add-ons. An extra egg for 2 ringgit. You can upsize it for 2 ringgit. Takeaway, for the packaging, 1.5, and then you can choose a side. And beverage, cold green tea. Now we add to cart. View cart. Grand total of 16 ringgit. Service charge. Dine in. Next. Select how many people. Okay. 1. There we go. 1 person.
Scrolling that you can.
Ah, just place order. Ah, okay. There we go. I was doing this so slowly. The server came over just to check up on me. Make sure I didn't, because at the very end you get a screen that's telling you to register, and you might think you have to register in order to order, but she told me no, just scroll down to the bottom and then you can hit a button without registering. So there it is, all done. Pending acceptance. My order status. Ah, there it is. Thank you for your order. Nice. I love it so much. I really do. I just like the way you can control the pace of your ordering. You can take as long as you want and do all the goofy thinking about everything that I do. Thank you. So, all done. Keeps getting better and better. Fast service. As soon as I hit the button, she came back with my cold tea. Very lightly flavored tea, like lightly colored, I mean. I haven't tasted it yet, but there's the flavor. Yeah, well, that's nice actually. Yeah, you know, it's not. You know, you're drinking tea. It has a nice tea flavor, and then the noodles are here already. Came very, very quickly. And that is what it looks like. So you got the noodles. Looking at the size of it right now, I think I could easily have upsized it. I could definitely eat a larger lunch than this, but that's a very nice presentation. Look at the bowl. Nice clay. It looks like an individually fired clay pot. I'm sure it isn't. It's commercially made, but I mean, it looks nice. Yeah, very, very nice. Nice and thick. I think I have my GoPro lined up okay. Yeah, you can see my noodles down there. And cutlery at the table. Ooh, nice. Look at that. Big, beautiful black spoon. And nice chopsticks. They're not like the thin metal chopsticks. They're like thick plastic ones. They're going to be very grippy for the noodles. I like that. Sample the broth. Clear broth. Noodly broth. Nice and hot. As I said, the only thing looking at this bowl, it's not meant for a Canadian lumberjack like me. When I don't eat that often, but when I do eat, I like to have a big portion. Keeps me going until the next meal. And this may end up feeling like a small portion. But now a nice variety. Ooh. Let me take a picture of it before I destroy the display on top. I don't know if it comes across on video. Ooh, let's get all fancy and turn on the food filter. Nice. Did you see that move? How I turned the bowl around to get the noodles in the foreground and the condiments or the toppings behind, you know. Oh, always thinking, always thinking. All right. Yeah, this looks like, actually I don't remember what any of these things were, but this looks, and has the texture of some kind of a seaweed, I think. Yeah. Seaweed of some variety. Spring onions. I don't know what this is. Something crunchy. Very salty. It's nice to have that different texture, like soft, gooey noodles and then a crunchy something mixed through. That might be where the Lamac version would be nice to have. Because I think you get a lot more crunchy vegetables and then peanuts in there. And there's something over here on the side. It looks like a white goop, almost like fish eggs or something. I know that flavor. Very subtle flavor, not so strong, but I'm not quite sure what it is. And then, of course, the egg. Let's just try some of the noodles without any of the toppings. Good. I think, I could be wrong about this, but I think udon means they're made from wheat. These are wheat noodles. Like most of the time in Malaysia, whenever you're getting noodles, they're going to be made from rice. They're rice noodles. But I think the deal with udon, Japanese noodles, is that they're made from wheat. But I'm gonna stir this all up, get it all mixed in together. I don't anticipate a big change in flavor now that I've mixed it up. So let's see what's going on here. Okay. These noodles are, they're pretty slippery. They're all trying to escape from my bowl. Nice. I saw on Google Maps, it had on the listing, it said less busy than usual. And I think that's because of the rain. Normally on a Sunday, you get a lot of cyclists, because there's a bike lane right out there, and there's a bike path that everybody follows on Sundays on their bicycles. So there'd be a lot more weekend people out walking around, cycling, and this place would probably be quite busy. But I think because of the rainy weather, everybody stayed home today. So lucky for me. Mixing everything together did change the character of it quite a bit, mainly the broth, because the broth was quite clear. But now that I've mixed in the egg, it actually became yellow, darker, and creamier. So yeah, it's a lot more pleasing now that I've mixed it all together. I'm usually not a big mixer. I eat things separately for some reason. I figure my stomach can do the mixing. That's what it's there for. But this improved the texture of the broth and the overall flavor, I think. Yeah. And touch and go.
All right.
1620. Team Udon. Yep.
Team Udon. Okay. All right.
1620.
You upload in YouTube?
Yeah.
What's your YouTube?
I can show you. Oh, there it is.
All right.
There. It's my name, Planet Doug.
Oh, Planet Doug. Okay.
Yep. You can keep that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Are you from Indonesia for this picture?
That was Thailand.
Oh, Thailand.
Thailand, yeah.
And you are in
But I was in Indonesia a lot, many times. Yeah.
because I am from Indonesia.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay. What part?
Medan.
Medan. Oh, okay. I spent a lot of time in Medan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was nice. Nice lunch. Just gonna dash across the street to show you what it looks like from over here. Kind of get a sense of its location. It must be new. I don't remember seeing it before. I've walked up and down the street quite a few times. I think if I saw a place that looked like that, I would have noticed and I would have remembered because I'm such a big fan of noodles. Yeah. So there it is. Team Udon. And I had a nice short chat with one of the servers as I was paying and leaving. She saw my GoPro, of course, and saw that I was filming and asked about my YouTube channel, so I gave her a Planet Doug card. And then she saw a photograph I have on the card is of me eating some noodles, and to her it looked like I was in Indonesia. And she asked, oh, was this in Indonesia? And I said that was actually from Thailand, but it turns out she is from Indonesia. And not only that, she's from Medan, a place where I've spent a lot of time. So I always wonder whether that's the right move. I've noticed it's a human instinct that whatever anybody tells you, like, doesn't matter what it is, any piece of information, any subject, any topic, whatever anybody tells you, the human instinct is to reply with your story about that same thing or your connection to that thing. And I've often wondered whether it is, I'm gonna go down another street over here, because there's another restaurant I'm looking for. I'll talk about it in a second. Once I finish this random thought, because she said, oh, I'm from Indonesia, I'm from Medan. And the first thing I do is tell her, oh, I've been to Sumatra many times. I've spent a lot of time in Medan. And you think you're making a connection with that person. You feel like you're being nice to them. But what you've really done is taken over their story. They're telling you about themselves. And now you're trying to be nice, trying to be polite, but essentially you're hijacking their story and saying how you have been to Medan and how you have been to Sumatra. Do you see what I mean? So, to be honest, most of the time, I resist that impulse. I can feel it because everybody does it. You know, you meet a brand new person and it comes up that, oh, you've been to India. Like, yeah, let's say you're traveling. Let's say in my case, I just came from Vietnam. I meet someone here and I say, yeah, I just came from Vietnam a month ago. And they'll say, oh, yeah, I've been to Vietnam. I went here and I did this. And they feel like they're making a connection with you, but really all they've done is hijack your story. So it may not be the polite thing to do, really, even though it is everyone's instinct. Anyway, so I normally resist that instinct. So whenever anyone tells me something and I feel the urge to talk about my connection to that thing, I push it down and I try not to do it. But in this case, I thought it would be really nice to talk about Sumatra with her because I really love that place and I've had such interesting experiences there. But yeah, but anyway, she was busy. She had to go. So we did not have a conversation after that. Here's the restaurant I was looking for, and it is still here. And I may, let's see, I have a few things to do this week, so I'm not sure when I'm available for a casual breakfast. But I'm hoping to come here for breakfast one morning. Mustafa Ha. I was thinking about coming here today, but I didn't think it was open on a Sunday. And lo and behold, I'm right. And the reason this place is interesting to me is because it used to be over there, that big white and orange, the white building with the orange roof. That is the Telecom Museum building. And they used to have a really nice cafe inside the museum. And I went looking for that cafe, but it's not there anymore. It's here. So this cafe used to be the Telecom Museum Cafe, but then they moved it here. And then I think they changed the name as well. So it's now Cafe H.J. Mustafa Ha. But as you can see, they've got some very budget-friendly options up here. Nasi lemak from 3.5 ringgit, like simple breakfast sets. So they even have an English breakfast set. So I want to come here this week at some point and have a breakfast here. Probably that one. Eat lunch like a prince, they say. Okay, here are the hours. Monday to Friday, 7:30 till 6. Saturday and public holidays, 7:30 to 4. Doesn't say anything about Sunday, so I assume that means closed Sunday. They just don't specify. So 7:30 they're supposed to open, close at 6. All right. This is it's on my schedule. So I may be having a meal there, and I'll record the whole thing on one of these random KL videos. And right here, by the way, is one of my favorite restaurants, Laguna Filipino restaurant. So I've been here quite a few times. They look busy today. And they do a lot of karaoke. Hello. I'm not a big fan of the karaoke machine in there. But that is the Filipino way. If you do not like karaoke, you have no business going to the Philippines. You're going to, whether you take part in it or not, it's going to be happening all around you no matter what you do. Well, it's starting to rain heavier, so I got to put my gear away. One last thought is that, yeah, my sandals fell apart. A heel strap just tore open, which is really weird considering I just bought them, didn't I? Didn't I just buy these sandals before I went to Vietnam? So I've only had them for 4 months now. Something like that, and I haven't gone mountain climbing. All I do is walk around the city on sidewalks. Bata, you let me down, Bata. Good old Canadian shoe company, I guess. And my previous pair of these sandals, nothing like this happened. There was no problem with any of the straps, but that does tend to happen when they release a product and then they keep selling it over the years. The quality tends to drop, and perhaps they used cheaper straps in this version of this sandal. But anyway, it just tore open. But it looks like I can repair it. I've got a sewing kit. I'm just going to be sewing it. That'll be my one of my jobs this week as well, probably this afternoon. Sit down with my sewing kit and see if I can sew this strap back together. Much later in the day now. In fact, it's much later at night. It's actually just after 11 o'clock at night. And I got a message that a friend of mine and a regular Planet Doug supporter is making sure that I'm well fed for all this video making and video editing. So I have some food being delivered shortly. So I'm very excited about that. The hint is that it is some kind of a combination, a spicy sandwich, and then some kind, or maybe a spicy wrap and a sandwich, or spicy sandwich and some kind of a wrap. Those are all the hints I've been given so far. So I'm waiting for my phone to start ringing to say that a delivery guy is downstairs. And yeah, I mentioned earlier today that my sandal fell apart. And well, I'm holding it up to the mirror. I should be holding it up to the camera, right? But yeah, there it is. There's this strap that goes through this buckle, and then it folds around here. But it turns out it's just so cheaply made, actually. It's not even sewn or something. Look at that. It's a very thin strap, and it's just like it's almost glued in place there. There's nothing holding it there. Well, I guess maybe there's some stitching there. But anyway, this whole thing just tore off. And now I was going to repair it myself because I could just put this back through the buckle and then re-sew it, but it's actually torn here and there. So it's like ripped open on both sides. So you pretty much have to put in a brand new piece of material and sew it all up. And I think I'm just going to bring it to a professional, a little shoe repair shop or some guy at the side of the road that I know about. They can do it a lot easier than I can. But yeah, look at that. Practically, well, 4-month-old sandals, and this strap that just tore right apart. Just kind of funny. Whoa. When you pull the card out, the power goes out and then the room goes dark, so you have to be careful. Man, I normally have my phone ringer off. I don't have any notification sounds or anything like that. But when there's someone coming for a delivery, of course, you have to hear when your phone is ringing. So I turned on the volume, and man, it was loud. Scared me half to death. I'm not used to my phone ringing. But yeah, surprise food delivery. 11:30 on a Sunday night. Very exciting. And yeah, I've gotten I think this is my third food delivery. And I've been surprised. Hello.
Thank you, boss.
Okay, thank you very much. It's for you.
You already paid.
I know, it's okay. It's for you.
Yeah, alright.
That's for you. Thank you.
Okay, bye, boss.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, right inside the lobby. Which is cool. Wow, there it is. I wasn't expecting, I was so surprised. I wasn't expecting him to be sitting right there. So I get all flustered in these situations. But there, it's from Epic. I have no idea what that is. Epics.com. Yeah, this whole thing is so new to me. And then my phone ringing, rushing down there, and I hate to leave people waiting, so I'm probably moving way too fast, and of course taking video at the same time. It's like a major operation. All right, room. There we go. And of course now, I was going to say now is when the door chooses to malfunction. But there we go, we got power. And yeah, so let's dive into this. Epic. So yeah, this is something else. On the back, there's like a ton of reading material on the back here. It's called Epic. 3 epic promises to only use real ingredients and create real flavors, to work harder than others on the real ingredients, no shortcuts, to deliver unmatched value so you can eat every day. All right. Epic promises, food for everyone, and on the paperwork it does say Korean barbecue beef wrap melts. I love the sound of that because I do love like easy to eat sort of food. If it's like a wrap and chicken porridge. I could actually smell the chicken porridge. All right, let's dive in here. Oh, that is a hefty bowl of chicken porridge. And if you're hearing a difference in the audio, I don't have my Rode microphone on right now. I'm just using the microphone on the media mod, so it will sound different. But I hope it is at least picking up my voice. So this is the, what was it called again? A porridge, what kind of porridge? Chicken porridge. Smells good. The whole thing I've got going on is kind of crazy because I don't even know when I'm hungry. I haven't eaten very much today at all. And I was just going to go to bed without having anything to eat. That's normal for me. But as soon as I smell this, I'm just like, oh, I'm so hungry. It's like my whole body wakes up when I smell good food. And, well, let's take everything out. I've got a box in there. I guess the box, it's like a present. The box is containing the melt or the melts. Oh, look at that. Interesting. It's like, again, I've seen so many YouTube videos like this where someone is showing food to the camera, but they tilt it too far and then everything falls out. So I'm trying to be very aware of the danger. But there they are. There's the melts. Almost shaped like pizza slices. And yeah, very heavy as well. So a lot of goodness in there. Luckily, my own cutlery. I think I'll use, yeah, that's going to work fine. Let's dive into this chicken. Wow, that is, it's thick, very, very thick. That's good. It's going to be filling, and that's the main thing. I actually have a pretty busy day tomorrow. I won't talk about what it is. It'll be a surprise on the video what it is I'm doing tomorrow. Something quite a bit unusual, but it is a little bit of a busy day for me. And this will be really nice because I do know that if I haven't had anything to eat, I don't sleep that well. I'm not aware of it, but then I'll wake up the next morning and I realize I have not slept well. I don't feel rested. But if you have a good meal that helps you sleep better, I find. So I'm going to work my way through this. Wow, it's very, very thick. Like, it's not really even a porridge. It's almost like a chicken casserole. That's a meal in itself. I'm so hungry. Who knew? Who knew I was this hungry? So I'm going to set this aside for a minute and then have some of the wrap while it's still nice and hot. In case you forgot, that's what the wrap looks like. And oh yeah, what was it called again? It's a Korean barbecue beef wrap melts. So, ooh, it's nice and hot. And if it's a melt, I assume that means there's cheese involved, right? Otherwise it couldn't be, it's like a cheese melt. A lot of cheese. And I don't know, could there be pineapple in there? Am I going crazy? I thought I could taste pineapple. I have no idea what makes it Korean, though. Honestly. I feel like I'm tasting pineapple. I mean, I could be crazy, but I think I am. And then the cheese, and then the beef. But I associate Korean food with a kimchi kind of overtone, right? Like sour and spicy at the same time, that kimchi thing. But I'm not getting Korean flavors out of this, but if they tell me it's Korean barbecue beef, I'll believe them. It's reminding me a lot of a grilled cheese sandwich in a way, more than anything, but much fancier than a grilled cheese sandwich. So I think that is it for commentary about this particular meal. I just want to settle in and enjoy it leisurely and really work my way through this. It's going to be so great. As I said, I hadn't eaten very much today, and it wasn't until I smelled the food that I was like, whoa, I'm so hungry. And I had no idea how hungry I was. But having this meal now, it's late to have a meal. It's actually probably past midnight now. No, it's just midnight. It just turned midnight. But I think having this meal means I'm going to sleep really well. Because sometimes having a full stomach means you sleep better when you're full. So I'm looking forward to that. And I have things to do tomorrow. So that's it. Going to shut down for now. And then I'll see you in the morning. I'm actually going off to meet up with Matthew again tomorrow morning. And he and I are doing a couple of things, and that ought to be a lot of fun to show on video. All right, that's it. I'll see you in the morning.